What's up, Facebook? I just tried to yell what's up and my voice just broke like a teenage boy. Alright, in a couple seconds here, let the live stream know that it is actually live. Alright, I'm gonna live stream, I'm gonna talk, I got things to say. I'm gonna go share this to my personal page. Alright, I'm back. Who is with me? I just saw when I was on my personal page that there's like 9 of you badasses, 11, 10 of you badasses here already. I shall turn the camera around in a moment, but I don't think it's a bad view meanwhile. So somebody can say hello, let me know you're there. Love to always see who's hanging with me when I'm doing my live stream. And can you guys hear me? Because I did not bring my headphones. It's a little noisy with the beach noise. Hey Danny, can you hear me okay? Just very conscious of the waves and the wind, but I'm assuming that the sound's okay. Let me know though, and then I suppose I'll turn the camera around and get started, kick it off. Say hey. 16 people, awesome. Alright, comment away guys, let me know if you're there, tell me you're there, tell me where you're at in the world. What are you up to? Have a morning coffee talk. Hey Kristen. Alright, somebody needs to let me know that you can hear me. I'm going to assume you can. Sometimes the comments are delayed. You can definitely hear. Cool. Hi, I love a morning beach walk. Morning beach walk. Tell me this is exactly where we walked. This is my favourite part of the beach to walk. I have the beach like right there. Like if you drive straight down from my house, you're there in like 1 minute. But I always drive 5 or 10 minutes up the coast. It's like 5 minutes to where I'm here. It's just like there's a cool stretch of the beach where you park, and there's a really cool cafe where I go and eat and work a lot and hang with friends, or well, work with friends, let's be honest. And then the stretch of the beach right in front of that cafe, which is where I'm at now, it goes down to the, if I turn around again, you can see that there's like the station down there. So it's just a good length to walk, and there's some stairs that you can run up the stairs. It's only like 30 stairs, but it's something. All right. Hey Kenneth, hey Shane, what's up? So I'm just powering down the beach. I've only got like 30 minutes, which is not quite enough for this walk, so I'm going faster before I got to go pick up my little daughter. And I was going to power along and just have a good old thinking session for myself and just detoxify some thoughts. And then I just thought, oh, I got a lot of cool things that I'm thinking about. How selfish of me it would be to not share them with you. Here comes Dan from Melbourne. What's up, Dan? I'm from Melbourne. I'm so happy to be here, by the way. Not in Melbourne, but I will be back there in a couple of weeks for a weekend with my family. Still love Melbourne. Hey, Kira. Can I give you a good rep range for weight? Can you ask a more vague question? I'm not, that's a very, like, there's a lot of room for answers there. Hey, Shane. Welcome from Maryland. That's one place I've not been yet. So many places to add to my list. Hang on, I've got to switch my coffee hand, guys. Alright, so I just wanted to address this. Oh my god, I've got this woman at the moment who's just like determined to keep commenting and hating on every post that I put up. Like, you got to give her points for being committed, because she's popping up like a frog in the box, just making random stupid comments on everything at the moment. And I think I might block her because I'm just so bored with it now. It's just becoming a bit ridiculous. It's like, seriously girl, go live your own life. You're not going to sway me, right? So I wrote a post last night about when they hate, and it was relevant to her and relevant to a few other people that had jumped onto that little bandwagon. And really it was like, you know, I was all fired up, which is awesome. I love being all fired up. So I was grateful to her for inspiring me with the passion to write a post from the heart, and just in a, you know, really rapid and fun way. Like I got that when they hate posts written in like 7.5 minutes, right? And then it made me money. So I really should send her a thank you note. Because when you release stuff that's from the heart and it's from truth, it always makes you money and builds your following, which is kind of what I'm talking about here as far as Cult Tribe. But she just, I'm just like, seriously, I've told her so many times, like, you're not going to change what I believe. She's like, oh, you just didn't like being challenged. I'm like, I love being challenged. I love arguing. Like, I love comment wars. I get off on that shit. I'm very good with my vocabulary. I'm very intellectual. and I very much love the debate and the argument. So bring it. But at a certain point, sorry, I keep changing my coffee arm. At a certain point, I get bored. I'm like, oh my God, you just like, you don't get it. You're actually just, now you just look stupid, and that's boring, because I love to debate with people, but they got to be smart people. I mean, it's no fun. It's like trying to beat up a kitten. I mean, it's kind of unfair, right? I'm starting to feel like this is wrong of me, because she actually just doesn't have the intelligence to come to terms with what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that she should come around to my viewpoint, but she just refuses to get what I'm saying. She's like changing your argument now and then, like even going to the trouble, I just noticed, even going to the trouble of finding like an old quote from me and using it as an argument against me, because she's still on this thing of, I don't want to be challenged because I'm not changing my beliefs. I'm like, challenge away. It's not going to change my beliefs though, right? I believe what I believe. So she found this quote image and put it up on the comment thread. So the thread in question, the post in question, which has got a massive response. It's one I put up a couple of nights ago on my personal page, and it's called "Warning: Beware of Potential Clients Who Complain About Their Previous Coaches." So if you go to find that post, you'll be able to read all her stupid comments and my responses, which are pretty fiery, I guess. They're just me being me. But yeah, she's put up this quote image of quoting me like it's a meme, Kat Laterzo. If it's not challenging you, then it's not changing you. And she's trying to use that as an argument as to why I should be embracing her challenge. And I'm like, oh my God, you're even stupider than I thought. And maybe I just need to really let go of this conversation, because you clearly do not have the intellect to be able to understand what's going on here. You're not challenging me. You're boring me and starting to annoy me. What challenges me, what actually challenges me, is that I will stand up and fight for what I believe in, right? And that is something I enjoy, absolutely, as I've said. But at the same time, it's confrontational, right? I'm aware that I'm being like even more ruthless and aggressive than usual when I respond to somebody like this person and the couple of people who've jumped on her bandwagon to support her. I'm absolutely bringing it. I'm being a total bitch, but I'm doing so based on what I believe, right? But there's still that part of me that's like, oh my God, am I taking it too far? Are people going to think I'm just really nasty and possibly a little bit immature, which I definitely am at times, because she was like, she called me uneducated, and I'm like, my dad's in the top percent, like the top 1% for IQ. My mum's in the top couple of percent for IQ, and so am I. So, all right, just because I'm like rich as fuck and focused on being hot and fit, and I'm like rah-rah and hyped up, doesn't mean I'm not fucking educated, bitch. So bring it. And I said to her, bring it, bitch. I'll kick your ass intellectually as well as physically. And then afterwards I was like, maybe that's a little bit too far. Maybe I'm getting a bit carried away. And I think I edited out the word bitch and just said bring it. But I was laughing at myself as well though. But I was also like, you know what? All right, there's the stairs. I won't go up the like, I can't see them. I would go up those stairs to finish off this little walk, but I won't, because it would be a bit jiggly for you guys, but also the people on the stairs will just be like, what the hell is she doing? So I'll leave them to do their thing and we'll just walk back. You know, like I'm having fun with it, and then I'm definitely like poking the bear deliberately and maybe being, you know, a little bit too bitchy even for me. But the reason that I do all of that and the reason that I get so aggressive is because I absolutely believe so deeply in what I have to say. And it actually comes from a place of deep compassion and care when I take the trouble to say all this stuff. So firstly, I will respond to stuff like this the way I do because I know that you guys might be reading it. Other people are reading it who need to see this, because a lot of people are scared still to stand up for what they believe in, scared of having backlash like what this woman's doing to me, scared of people thinking that they're a bad person. And it's a genuine fear for those online, and it actually stops a lot of people from sharing their true message, because there's this fear of, well, what if people aren't going to like it, right? Let me walk down closer to the beach so you can see the beach, not just my big head. So it really stops a lot of people getting their truth out, and I hear this all the time. So for me, I feel like I have a responsibility to show that you can stand up for yourself, and to show that you don't have to let it get to you when people say nasty things to you, or just, you know, carry on and refuse to actually get that maybe you believe what you said you believe, and you're not going to cave down just because somebody didn't like it, right? So for me, a big part of why I respond to this stuff rather than leave it or I respond to it typically until it starts to bore me because the person's not smart enough to keep up with the debate. And then I'll tend to just like stop answering or even checking what they're saying, and they just go on and on and on because dumb people don't get it. That's what they do, right? I'll respond to it, yes, absolutely, partly because I'm like, you know, weird like that, whoa, and I enjoy it. I enjoy debate, right? I don't mind somebody having a different opinion to me. I certainly don't mind saying what I think about it though, and they can say what they think as well, but be freaking intelligent about it, pay attention, right? So that's part of the reason. The other part is I see it as me leading by example in terms of demonstrating that as a leader, you are going to have people pushing against you. You are going to have people think that you're a bad person, or they think that you're dumb. She probably thinks I'm dumb, right? Or whatever. They're going to be patronizing to you. They're going to be whatever they're going to be. And it's totally up to you how you deal with that. But you will have to deal with it, make no mistake. And I don't think that the right response is to ignore it, or to try and hide it, or to feel ashamed about it, or also to be worried about other people seeing it. When people say stuff like that to me, I will highlight that shit, as I'm doing right now, right? I'm telling you about it. I'm not like, ooh, I hope nobody else sees this because then maybe they're going to agree with it. I'm like, I hope the whole fucking world sees it, and I hope that the people who do agree with it, you know, come out and fuck off and follow her, and they can build their own little happy family together. Except they won't, because people who do that shit don't have their own success. They don't have their own business that's working. They don't have their own cult tribe, because if they did, they wouldn't have the time or energy or internal need to try and validate themselves by, you know, spending so much time on somebody else's comment thread, right? They'd just be too occupied. So you straight away know that this is not a successful person. This is somebody who needs to jump up and down on somebody else's page in order to try and get attention. But, right, exactly, Jenny. But here's where I wanted to lead into, because I noticed this morning that she's kind of changed her argument, because her initial argument was just against me for my post, like disagreeing with my post. And I've clearly not backed down on that. Nothing she's going to say is going to change my mind about what I wrote. I wrote what I believed, so how could it change? So now she's changed it to, because the fact that I said, go get your own cult tribe, or, you know, you're not part of this cult, then she's like, yes, it's a cult. I'm glad you said so. I'm like, yeah, I've been saying that for like years, so catch up, honey. But she's like making a big argument now, or making a point that a cult is a bad thing, which is what prompted this live stream, because this is really important to talk about. How did that get so cold? All right. She put up a link to, I don't know, some cult leader who killed a bunch of people, or they all suicided themselves, or whatever they did. And I'm like, oh my God. It's actually painful to me when people have such poor intellect approach to their debate process. It's just like, oh, it's a little nauseating, to be honest, because it's basically like putting up an article about a plane crash and using it as an argument for why everybody shouldn't go on planes. It's just like, oh, I don't think I even have the stomach to bother with this anymore. I did write a response, and obviously now I'm doing this live stream about it, so I guess I am responding. But I'm doing this to really now talk to you about perceptions, right? So cult is a word that has a bad perception to it, for example. But actually it's whatever you want to make of it. Everything in life is whatever you want to make of it. So the reason I love the word cult is because I focus on all the positive attributes of the cult that I want to create, which is all positive, right? So to me, it's an absolutely, you know, fervent group of people who know what they stand for, they know what they stand against, and they will absolutely fight for it, no matter what anybody has to say about it. And to me, that's critical in business, right? I wouldn't want just a following or a community, because it's not a strong enough feeling, right? For me, it's absolutely about, we have rules within this community. Now, it's not so much that I'm creating all the rules. I mean, I have my own ideas and rules, but I'm not telling anybody to follow my rules. I'm just saying that if you don't align with what I believe about business and success, then this is not the place to be. Go and be somewhere where it works for you, right? So I'm not trying to make anybody, I don't want to like convert people into my cult. I just want people who already thought the same way. So the way I see it is, this cult is created together. We're all creating this together. It's not like everybody following my rules. It's, hey, we have found each other because we have similar beliefs, similar values, similar principles. We know what we stand for, and we know what we stand against, and we will absolutely fight for it, and we will not be swayed. And we are fervent with our passion, and yes, we can be aggressive, and yes, we can be over the top, and yes, we can be too much, and that is the whole fucking point. And what are you going to do about it? And if you don't like it, nobody told you you had to be here, motherfucker, right? So there's so much more that could be said on that, but I just really need you to understand that you have to be honest about what you're feeling relevant to this, right? Because you can nod your head at me, but I know full well that hardly anybody here, if anybody, would be as aggressive as what I have been in responding to somebody like this. And maybe you don't have to be. You certainly don't have to do anything, right? You certainly don't have to model anything that I do. However, if you feel that stuff, if people say stuff like that to you, or you see it on my thread, or you see stuff like that wherever, and you feel within you that this is not right, and you have a different belief, and you don't say something, then you're going against your own faith. You're going against what you believe in. And as a lot of you know, I grew up in a Christian household. I identify myself as Christian to this day. And one of the things that you really learn and know as a Christian is that when Judgment Day comes, you would stand up for Jesus, right? That even if it meant death, that you wouldn't go against what you believe in, right? Now, that's a separate conversation. I'm not asking anybody to agree or disagree on that particular point, but I do believe it, right? And that a lot of the principles that I learned through church and through growing up in a Christian home, which was an incredibly positive experience for me, are principles that I apply in business. And I really just flat out believe that you either believe in something or you don't believe in it. And that if you believe in it, you would die for it. That's what I believe. Nothing would cause you to back down, and certainly not some drama queen on Facebook having a little temper tantrum like a toddler, right? But even bigger things, no matter what anybody says to me, it would not cause me to sway my beliefs. They can say what I want. They can call me every name under the sun. I probably already called it to myself anyway on a blog post, right? And I'll happily publish that and share that message of them railing against me, because I would prefer to identify and filter out the people who agree with somebody like that, who are ultimately not supposed to be here. But ultimately the question to you is not, do you agree with everything I say? Not, do you want to be as aggressive or, ranty as me? But do you believe in what you believe in? And if so, are you standing up for it? Because I can tell you that this is not just a conversation about beliefs and about values and about whether or not to argue back on Facebook. This is a question about your business and your empire. And the thing is, people follow strong leaders. They just do. People don't follow others who are wishy-washy or who don't know their own mind, and they sure as fuck don't follow people who back down on their own beliefs. So the reality is that if you want to build your own following and you want to have people absolutely passionately, fervently loving, sharing, referring what you have to say and what you create, but also purchasing from you and doing it over and over and over again and absolutely loving and trusting you, and you also want to have an incredible relationship with those people whereby it's not just about business, but there's a soul connection, right? These are all the things that are normal for me in my business. If you want all of that, you're going to have to show who you are. And you're going to need to be willing to do that, not just when it's easy and pleasant and pretty and you're writing a little blog or doing your own live stream, but you're going to need to be willing to do it when it counts, right? And that's why I stand up for myself and for my community and for you when I respond to stuff like this. Because I feel that it's my role as a leader to affirm what I do believe and what I stand for, and I have to do that for my own purposes first and foremost. I would be out of integrity with myself if I didn't, but I also feel that it's my responsibility to my community to show that you don't have to be swayed, and also to show, I guess, my response so that for those who are unsure or who are sitting on the fence or who are potentially swayed by stuff like this, that they can really get to see what I actually stand for and what this community stands for and make a decision one way or the other. I don't want people following me online who don't fully believe in what I stand for. Why would I want that? I don't want money from those people. I don't want people hanging on the edges. I only want people following me who are all in. And I think that with you it's the same if you really think about it. But the thing is, are you allowing that to happen? Is your message strong enough? Are you being bold enough? Are you being honest enough And do you maybe need to throw out some perceptions, right? Do you need to stop worrying about, well, are people going to think it's a cult? Now, I'm very aware that people have thought, like, will use that stuff against me in the past as an insult. And that's one reason out of many, many reasons why I actively refer to my community as a cult. Because I'm just going to be like, all right, here's what I once upon a time used to be scared of before I believed in myself enough or knew how to stand up for what I believe in. So I'm going to take that thing that I used to be scared of somebody saying to me, and I'm going to wave it around. I'm going to say it first. And then it's like, what else have you got? What, you want to call me a bitch? Okay, here's like 49 blog posts where I called myself a bitch. Oh, you want to call me a cunt? Cool, you're not the first. Get in line. I also wrote a post about calling myself a cunt. I've called myself narcissistic, obsessed, relentless, ruthless, a bad mum, a bad wife. I've called myself all the stuff. And not just deliberately to make a point, although that is part of it, right? So I just think you've got to look at here's a question that you can actually look at, right? You can journal on this or think about this or answer it in the comments. Now, how good is it that the sun is coming back on the coast? Loving it. So the question is, what is it that you're scared of? What are you scared of that's causing you to hold back on your true message? Right? What is the fear that's causing you to hold back on really building your cult tribe, standing up for what you stand for, attracting people who actually do resonate with your message? Because let me tell you, they're out there, right? You don't have to worry that if you really fully be yourself, that the world is going to hate you. What's going to happen instead is that you'll find your soulmate clients and your soulmate cult community, and you'll build an epic fucking empire doing the work that you are actually called to do, and money will flow easier, and repeat sales will flow easier, and you'll have so much fun as well because your clients will become your friends. It's just like the best thing ever. That's my business, right? But none of that happened when I was trying to play both sides of the field, and when I was worrying about keeping everybody happy, or when people would argue against me and I would have been like, oh, okay, I see your point. Now I'm like, I don't fucking see your point. I disagree with your point. I see your point, but I don't agree with it. And if I were to, let's say, bitch about that in my own head in private, or to my friends or my partner or something, but not say it publicly, I literally just threw coffee through the air, then that would not be an integrity. That would not be me standing up for what I believe in. That would not be me standing up for my community either, right? So there's so much more that I could say about this. It's like an entire freaking thing, but actually it is an entire freaking thing that I will be teaching on in the Rich Chick Coaching Certification. So I have my coaching certification, which is starting on Monday of next week, Sunday actually, because that's my birthday, October 2. I'm going to be 37. What? So the Rich Chick Coaching Certification is reopened for 2016 with all new content. You can go to katlaturzo.com/Rich Chick Coaching Certification. It's an 8-week coaching certification. You're going to work with me personally. It is extraordinarily in-depth. You're learning all of the practices of what goes on in my business to run this multiple 7-figure empire and keep growing it. So everything that's in here, everything that's in my computer as far as how my business works, all of it broken down and taught to you, including like everything, all the marketing, branding, selling, creating of products. And one of the key things that we actually focus on a lot is attracting in your cult tribe, finding your perfect dream client, and being strong enough in your message and your truth to stand up for what you believe in. So this is a really relevant topic right now. And it wouldn't be right of you or of me to allow you to come into the certification if you're not coming in with a willingness to be bold for what you believe in, to be bold enough to say what you really think, to stand up for it, but also to allow yourself to let business and money making be easy by attracting in the right people, right? So you'll actually be a certified Rich Chick coach. Guys can do this as well, by the way. You just got to be a Rich Chick coach with my institute, the Rich Chick Coaching Institute. So it's all starting next week. This is the only time for 2016. It's a pretty big deal. It's the most in-depth program I've ever created, and it's all new for 2016. If you did this before, when we did it a couple of years ago, and you'd like to go through it again, message me, because you can do that at no cost, by the way, right? So that's at katlaturzo.com/Rich Chick Coaching Certification. So I would really encourage you to go check that out, just to even read through what's on the page. And then obviously if it's speaking to you, press through and play. There's only a couple of days left for the early bird. You're going to save a lot of money. But have a read anyway, because you'll see all of the different areas of business that need attention paid to them, and start to understand what it is that goes into my daily process and my big picture practices from the inside out to build this business, right? But here's the thing. Even if you're not going to be a rich chick coach, and why wouldn't you? It is freaking awesome. Even if you're not, you need to think about what you're standing up for in your business. Are you standing up for what you stand for? Or are you allowing other people who you don't even actually care about, let alone agree with, to sway you from your true path? You've got one life to live. This is it. Press fucking play.